Hello, everyone. My name is Nekbe Obasoge, reporting from Toronto, Canada. We are here today to discuss about Nigeria, restructuring of Nigeria. I have with me from the northern region of Nigeria, Mr. Magnus Oraka. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, sir. Thanks for joining the show today. So we are here to discuss about the position of the Northerners in the quest for restructuring Nigeria. So the Northern youths have not been requesting for restructuring of Nigeria, unlike the Southern youths. Do you think they are ready to work collectively with other parts of Nigeria in this quest for restructuring the country?
Yeah, as usual, before I start answering questions, I like specifying the foundations, more or less like a preamble before
Yes.
delivering the right perspective towards the response.
Mm.
You see, first and foremost, what is restructuring? Restructuring is a process that recalibrates the system that operates a nation. In other words, in simple terms, restructuring is designing a system that enables the different components of of that system work in harmony. So in the case of Nigeria, restructuring Nigeria is a process to design a system that works perfectly for the different components of Nigeria. Now, Nigeria is a very complex society. From the angle of religion and from the angle of ethnicity. I think these are the two basic uh, pillars that have become such a problem that has exacerbated all efforts to ensure that the Nigerian system work. But I think basically the problem of Nigeria is not too much of religion, it's so much of ethnicity. What we have had before now is leaders who, when they find themselves in power, they tend to subvert the country's instrument of power, to subvert resources to their people or region, but in most cases to themselves. Now, what has really led to the cry of restructuring the most this time is the fact that when Buhari came in, Buhari is one leader who, to a large extent, of all the leaders we have had in Nigeria, has displayed the worst form of nepotism and tribalism. Now,
Tribalism,
in
yes.
in his appointments, he has clearly showed that he has high preferences of taking choice positions with influence to his Fulani and Muslims in Nigeria, whereas positions which are less effective when you occupy them, he gives them to Southerners. Starting from the top, the office of the vice president. You and I know that the office of the vice president is little or barely effective when you compare it to the office of the president. Now, or bear no effect. Now, because of the, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear
Hello,
you now.
can you
Yeah.
hear me? Sorry, somebody was trying to call in. You
Yeah.
understand? So, although the cry for restructuring has been more pronounced in recent time than it was before, and that was influenced by the depth and resolve of Buhari to ensure that the machinery that governs Nigeria remains in the control of his northern and Islamic brothers, but and some few loyal Muslims from the Yoruba side of the country. So this is where Nigeria is now. The question we'll ask again is that why is it that the northerners feel that the only way they can benefit from Nigeria is to insist that Nigeria remains a one non-negotiable indivisible entity? Why are they the ones that are uh, peddling this idea forward? Why are the South saying, no, we need restructuring, and then the North saying, no, we don't want restructuring? In the North here, they practice a feudal system of government. By feudal
Oh,
system of government, it's a system that suggests only a certain class of people can benefit from the spoils of governance. Then the rest, here they call this set of people Maekata. That's the people at the top. Then the set of people who are at the lower cadre of life. I think they call them the in English they call it the proletariat, as against
yeah,
the bourgeois,
yeah, the
as against
bourgeoisie,
the
the
bourgeois.
bourgeoisie.
You get me? So
Mm,
now the system here suggests that those who are poor, the talakawas,
mm,
they are very, very much contented with their status of life. And it will surprise you that they will even fight to defend their status, their poverty status. They have no ambition and they have no quest to attain that pinnacle of economic endowment. They don't have that at all. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Now, to practice a feudal system of government, it means a larger chunk of your population has been left redundant because these are the ones that have refused to go to school. That is why you see the level
mm,
of education is so low here, because
mm.
feudalism and education don't go together. Because if you allow these talakawas, these proletariats, to have Western education, they will begin to ask questions. They will begin to have ambition. They will begin to have a
Challenging,
need to,
challenging the
they'll be,
system.
they'll begin to have a need for a better life. And because of that, they will want to now start asking questions. And when they start asking questions, they'll start challenging, why is it that you are the ones that meant to enjoy the spoils of governance, while we remain poor?
Mm,
You understand me?
yeah.
Now, if we restructure Nigeria, at least to their own understanding, they will be left with a huge mass of population that are mostly beggars, that are mostly illiterate, that are mostly sugarcane sellers, shoe shiners, blacksmiths, dry season farmers. Basically, a chunk of population that has no basic skills that can harness the development of a country. So they know that years of feeding from the system of governance, this unitary system of government, has put them in great disadvantage. So much so that if we say let's restructure now, it's going to reduce the North into the worst state of economic penury, and they know it. So the only way they can continue to sustain this ineptitude that they know they have is to continue to sustain this system of government for as long as possible through the document, the 1999 Constitution, which clearly suggests that no matter how you operate it, whether you operate it from the first page, or you operate it from the middle, or you operate it from the last page, it's still going to dawn on the fact that the North will benefit the system as it works. Because we are operating a system of government where we say majority, the type of democracy that said majority carries the number. And they have operated a system which is also backed by the Constitution to suggest that they are the ones in charge of the National Population Commission. So it's whatever figures they gave to you that you use for operation. So if they tell you that they have more population than the South, it means they can also tell you that because of the large population that they have, they require more local government areas, which is what they have done. Now, if they say they have more population, then they will tell you that they require more representative in the House of Assembly. So basically, they've designed Nigeria in such a way that you don't need to go to school. It is us. They've made it in such a way that a boy in the South must score not less than 260 to be able to get admission in the university. But a northerner here can score 120 and still get into the university. Now, you see, when you see, like, for instance, when you see some of our Igbo brothers talking about the anomalies of the Nigerian system, it's not as if they are not saying what is true. They're actually saying what is true. It's just that the method with which they are channeling their anger or putting up their case is what is making their case not sustainable or not substantiated enough. So the North is afraid of restructuring because the wealth is there, it's in the South. If the wealth was in the North would have been the first to embrace restructuring long before we even consider it. Now, here is where it even gets even more interesting. When we say we want restructuring, there is this psychology that we embrace to suggest that the North must agree.
Yes.
The North must say, okay,
Yes.
the North must agree, say, okay, we are ready for restructuring before we can start the restructuring process. I want to tell the listener that, look, it is not the North that is delaying the process of restructuring. Rather, it is us. I am trying to imagine a country with the North as the owners of oil. As I'm trying to imagine a Nigeria where oil is located in the North, where cocoa is located in the North, coal, palm oil, glass, timber, virtually everything that runs the country is located in the North. Let me tell you, they will not wait for the South to agree whether we need restructuring. So if that would have been the case, so what is preventing the South from also determining when, why, and how Nigeria should be restructured? I'll tell you why. Nigeria, the South. The South, as it is still nurturing a psychology of individualization. What do I mean by individualization? Individualization in the sense that even a homogeneous Igbo nation still practices individualization. You find out that they still lack the ability to cohere and work as a single unit. Even in Urobo, we still lack the ability that brings us to cohere and work as a single unit. Then the bigger unit is all the ethnicities coming together and say, no, we want, since we feed Nigeria, let us be the one to say this is how our wealth should be used in a proper format that doesn't shortchange anybody.
Do you mean that,
but then again,
we are not uniting in the certain region? Let's say
we
divide.
Obviously,
yeah.
Obviously, we are not. Obviously, we are not united. That's an age-long premise that is understood by everybody. Now, what is really the cause of our disunity? What is really the cause of our? Why is it that we just can't seem to come together and say, okay, this is how we want the country to be run? And in the eyes of the North, they will see a resoluteness that suggests that these Southerners have decided to come together. There are so many things that divide us. And I quickly want to point these divisive tendencies of the North. One, the North has been able to sow Islam in the Southwest. And I'm not saying Islam is a bad religion. Please don't jump there. But this is how the type of Islam they get. This Islam they practice in the South is different from the Islam they practice in the North. To them, the Islam they gave to you is just a program to make you from the South that embrace Islam to work for the North. Even if you see an Igbo man today who embraces Islam, you see he automatically thinks he's a Northerner and he starts working for the interest of the North. Even in your state, in Edo State, if you see those Muslims in Auchi, whenever there is a vote, whenever there is a presidential vote, you see they, from that place, they tend to vote for the candidate in the North because there's a program in their head that tells them that because the religion they gave to them say it is all. You don't practice partial Islam. You don't say, okay, when it is politics, you are Edo. It's all. So you find out the voting
But
pattern.
history is also saying that these people in Edo State also originated from the north. So there's this,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's true now.
Mm-hmm,
But they are in the north,
mm,
and then influencing the decision of this. They are from the north, but in the south, and I've metamorphosed into a place, into a position where they now see themselves as Edo people. But because they are there, they are influencing, given the coloration that that region of Edo State is its sentiment is for the north. So that's one way they've been able to cause this division. Because anytime we say let us call ourselves to come together and and uh, and fight the north, the Muslims in the south will betray us without blinking an eye. An example was when we were operating the former Bendel State. Then I was in University of Maiduguri. We were with the current Edo people. Anytime our girls are harassed by Islamic extremists in Maiduguri, and we want to fight, you find out that the Muslims from Edo North, from Auchi,
mm,
they are like they are like they are like spies. They are like the very agents of the enemy that we are fighting among us. And you find out that anytime we are making points, they will be the one antagonizing whatever reasons we want to fight. At the end of the day, if you see that the fight we want to take to the school authority to tell them that this is what is happening to our girls
mm,
becomes weak, because in us alone we
mm,
have people who have already neutralized our strength of argument for the
mm.
public, and that's what is happening to the southwest.
Now,
Anytime there's a
yeah.
need for us to put up anytime there's a need for us to put up an argument to counter the machinations of the north, you find out the Muslims who believe that they are more Muslims than the north begin to act for the interests of the north. So that's topmost are the divisive tendencies of the south.
Mm,
The second divisive tendency, the second thing that divides us is ethnicity. Ethnicity. And everybody is guilty of this ethnic divide. It's not only Igbos, the Edos, the Robos, the Soko.
mm, mm,
Everybody is guilty of this thing. You understand me? It's just that some ethnic nationalities play their own more violent or more virulent or
mm,
more pronounced than others. I'm talking about my Igbo brothers. They play their own ethnicities far worse than others. Particularly now that we have the emergence of the recalcitrant you call
mm,
Nnamdi Kanu. You understand? So this is far more pronounced now. Now, a lot of ethnic nationalities believe that, especially like for the Igbos now, they believe that because of their population, they stand to benefit certain superior relevance than those they perceive as minorities, or those they perceive as having less population to them.
mm,
The Benin Kingdom believe that they have a rich history of the past that suggests that most of these people today that they see, they were people that were slaves to the Oba of Benin, and because of that, they should continue to see themselves like that, even though years of existence have taken us away from that. How do you begin? We know it.
mm,
We know it that yes, our forefathers lived under the command and control of the Oba of Benin. But for God's sake, that was then. This is now. You can't begin to force me to keep having that mentality that we were once under you. That's in fact, it
Now,
must we
what if
must no, hold on,
what?
hold on, madam. Don't let me just drop the point so that, because people are watching, they will quote, so that they don't take me out of context. You see, these are history. It's there in history. We know it. It did exist. But you see, times have changed. Times have changed. You can't put new wine in old skin. We must begin to find system that conforms with available evidence of how much change time has brought to us, and design a system that confidently accommodates these changes, so much so that it begins to benefit everybody. But if you want to say, let us restructure, but have it at the bottom of our mind that the Igbos believe that they have more population, therefore they are superior to us, This one, they have a rich history. Therefore, they are better than us. The Urhobos believe that they are bigger than Isoko. Therefore, they are better than Isoko. The Ishekiri believes that they are bigger than Isoko. Therefore, they are better than us. The Ijaws believe that they are also as big. Their population is also wide, and therefore they should also enjoy. So you see this concept of this consciousness of individualization is there. Everybody is trying to protect a minute ethnic objective. Nobody is attempting to think outside his or her ethnic proclivity. Nobody is trying to say, okay, yes, I want to protect the Edo people, but how can I work with the Urhobo people? How can I work with the Igbo people? How can I work with the Can there be a system that makes the Igbo man be the Igbo man, the Edo man be the Edo man, the Urhobo man be the Urhobo man? But when it comes to the North, we are able to cut outside this little divide and face the North squarely. Let me ask you a question. You have brothers and sisters, do you? Now, let's say, for instance, now you are having a meeting. I don't know how many you are. In my family, we are 18. Let's say we are having a family meeting and we are fighting. Hey, idiot, waiting. You don't leave home since you never agree come. When would they bury a power where you did? When they build a house, you contribute money. You know all those little petty things that brings quarrel in the family. Then let's say as we are having that heated quarrel, one Fulani man now entered the house and is speaking our television and moving over to our television. Are we going to still continue that quarrel? At that instance, whatever quarrel that we are quarreling, we'll suspend it and face the Fulani man, probably beat him or rescue our television from him. But what is happening in the South now is that we are having this family meeting, we are quarreling, then an outsider is coming into the house, picking our television, but we are so consumed by this quarrel we have among ourselves to the point that we are not bothered about who is coming to pick the television set in our house. We are not bothered about who is coming to raid the money we kept in the house. That is what is killing us. And the reason why the family is held on to this fight to the point that they don't mind who is coming to the house to pick their television set is because of that personalization, that individualization. That's the I don't know if that's second or third in that point I made. Then the last and final one that is causing that inability to unite is that greed. And the greed is further enhanced by the same personalization I want to talk about. We have so much money, even one person's money. Look, do you know of all the stealings that these Southerners steal from the South? Some of them are not even as rich as the Northerners that they collude to steal your own money from your own house. What's his name? Akpabio. Akpabio, you are heading an institution that collects 13% of the year's budget. My sister, let's be very honest with ourselves. 13% is enough to turn the whole of the South Niger Delta region to a Dubai.
Oh yeah, that's the 30% of derivation, right? From the oil, from the crude oil.
Yeah. No, the budget, the Nigerian budget is about 90, almost 90 something percent funded by oil now. So if you are getting 13% of 95% of revenue, it's enough to turn that place. But let me tell you what is happening. The strategy of the Northerner is that they keep records of everybody. What the Northerners do is that they search for everybody's dirty secret. Mr. Common Sense, Ben Murray Bruce, used to talk and talk. But when they locked his silver bed, locked his businesses, and showed him your secret, he kept quiet. Have you been hearing from him again? No. What's his name? Akpabio. Akpabio was governor of one of the richest states in the South. He was controlling big money. And when he was in the House of Assembly, they said, my guy, don't give us opposition, see your secret. And they showed him his secret. He backed down. It's okay. We are going to make you chairman of NDDC. But this is what we do. This is our share. When you hear 13% derivation coming to the South, what eventually comes to the South that is used for development, you'll be shocked that it's not even up to 2%. Because at the end of the day, these greedy Southerners that can't look beyond their personal greed allows the North, who understands how deep their greed can go, nurtures this greed, and then they fulfill. Okay, we're going to take 10%. Inside this 10%, you take 60. Then they will share this 40, and then they are okay. They are okay. I keep wondering. You see a Northerner. There's a friend of mine in Meduguri, Alhaji Sabon Rigia. His house is on 22 plots of land in Meduguri. He has a quarters built for the wives. He can't even sign. He can't even sign his name. Let me. Somebody's already punishing me. See, even when you say something good about them, they will still say God punish you. Yeah. Okay. It's not. Somebody's writing that God will punish you.
No, just ignore them. Ignore them. Forget them.
You get me? Now, when I'm on this program, I try as much as possible. They are my opinions. They are my perspectives. Never at any point did I say what I'm saying is the absolute truth or absolute sense. They are mere opinions. That's why you have me on this program, to share the gang up mentality. They gang up and ensure that one of their own attains a relevant position, let's say in Shell or NMPC. They gang up and ensure that one of their own attains the highest office, either in a department or the entire NMPC. And they ensure that where you see a Southerner there, even though he might be given a tag of a very good office, he ends up just filling a seat. But they make sure that seat he fills, he gets his own share enough to really take care of his own problem. But he never solves anything. He doesn't solve anything. Then the man who is there, all he now does is that he pushes his people from his village. And when he employs the people from his village, they must not necessarily be his brothers or sisters. They must not even be someone from his state. All that they require for the person to get employment is just to say, Ranka Dede, sir. He's a Muslim and he speaks Hausa. That's all.
That's all.
He doesn't want to get payback from. He doesn't want to know in the future whether they pay him money. All he knows that he has helped to build the North. Somebody from the North has been placed in a position. Now, this person can be a driver, can be a gate man, can be a clerk, can be a messenger. When he's there, they now find a way to sack somebody that is qualified. That man that is a messenger with no degree, he will go there. If you go to our establishment, you find people with barely little or no certificate at all, occupying very, very technically required position.
And professional, professional position.
Yes. All they simply do is they become there and then get somebody who works under them. That is me and you who have the school. Then we do the work. They do the chop. In case of monkey, they walk. Baboon, they chop. The other day, the MD of Nigerian Raw Material Development Corporation was called and was asked, in the last 33 years, what have you achieved? What have you achieved as the MD of this operation? And he said they've developed a gadget that can process kilishi. Kilishi is, you know what kilishi is, but for purpose of our international.
I saw the video. I saw the video.
Okay. Now, for purpose of our international viewers, a kilishi is a locally made stick, STEAK. It's a locally made stick with a lot of groundnut powder, and it is cut in such a way that it is so flat and
it's a beef meat. It's like beef meat with
barbecued until it becomes so dry and so strong. When you eat it, it begins to swell and multiply in your mouth. So it's kilishi. Understand me? So the man was surprised and he said, in 33 years, the only development, the only creation, the only invention you can make is how to process kilishi. It was an insult to a country. But why is this so? Is because the southern people, who are the intellectuals, who are the most educated, who are the most exposed, who are the most gifted, who are the richest, have not been able to harness a far more collective sense of developing the region. You understand me? If instead you see one Edo man who has become director NEMA, he will try to get money, go to his village and build one imposing mansion. That's all. He has then his people will be happy that now a person and be director for this thing. Just like I went to Warri sometime. Just because Buhari gave commissioner for justice to Kiamu, it's not even the top commissioner, it's the lower minister. Sorry, just because Buhari gave minister to Delta to the Robos. And then Omo Agege is vice president Senate Urobo. Could you believe that they don't want to see anything that Buhari is doing wrong again? One was even telling me that, hey, I better make I bone that thing. When Goodluck Jonathan was president, what do we get? We don't get anything. So that Buhari gave, what influence has Omo Agege got to do in the Nigerian system? Nothing. He can't influence chief of service chief to be changed. He can't even influence anything in the House of Assembly.
Yes, we should be cognizant of this, that because some of them were elected to their positions through the help of the Northerners, it's very difficult for them to criticize the Northerners.
That is because they have no scruples and they have no dignity. They have no dignity, and they've been able to. Let me tell you, if I have no loyalty, just before we started this program, somebody called me and said if I could go back to this thing and they'll be giving me money. Even made example of other people. For purpose of decency, I will not call their name. They are on payroll. So we have people who are actually on social media saying something against their supposed loyalty for their people because of money they are being paid. If I was buyable, this Abakari that died, the younger brother, was my classmate in the University of Maiduguri, Department of Accountancy. And I know how much, when my social media page was very big and had so much attention, I know how much I was lured to accept. Up to 150 million naira. I could really use 150 million. Really could use 150 million naira. And it takes the grace of God for you to see that kind of enticement and say, no, your people, the loyalty for your people. Even as I speak, my people don't even appreciate what I do. Hardly did I see anybody from Roboland say, you will see what you are doing, well done. That is because they are more contented in that name, in that title, that we are now producing the vice president of the House of Senate. They don't ask, how is that directly beneficial to the entire region? No. All they know is that Robo has become vice president. Omo Agege has been, what's his name? Keyamu. Keyamu is my schoolmate. I attended the same school with Keyamu, Government College, Ugele, from 1987. Yeah, 87 to 88. But today, nobody wants to say anything because one of their own is now minister. What has the title got to do with the development of the South? So is the minister. So what? If you want to follow this tribal thing, Urobo is one out of 100 ethnicities in the southern region. So if we want a situation whereby the only time we are happy with the government is when they give us position, that means tomorrow they will give Isokotu. Isokotu will not want to say anything bad about the government because the government has given them position.
Yes.
And these northerners, they've known this thing. That is why they just, okay, let us collect all the top in presidency, we own the presidency. In Senate, we own the Senate. In judiciary, we own the top spot. So they collect all the top spot because they know at the end of the day, we'll be so happy and rejoicing over insignificant, powerless, irrelevant second position that we even die to collect. We kill ourselves to collect it.
Honestly,
to collect a second position that is nothing.
There are many loyalists.
Osibanjo is vice president. Can you imagine a vice president that the president is sent to go and share 10,000 in the market? A Hausa man will not do it. As illiterate as you are seeing the Northerners, they have political dignity, political integrity, political class. That's from, even the way they dress is deliberate. It's a psychological thing. They dress very big. They wear this agbada. When they come to the southern man, they stretch the agbada, just like the ostrich. It becomes bigger. It is called, it is psychological intimidation. When the person you're talking appears bigger than you that is small, you intimidate. Whereas we wear our small shirt that makes us look small. When they come to you, they deliberately fold the agbada, stretch it. You see that they've occupied 6 of your space, and then they bring it back. It's an indirect way of telling you that this how big I am.
Oh God, this is interesting.
This how big I am. They tell you that this how big I am. In that split second, you've been psychologically dwarfed. You see, and again, one thing again, you see, no politicians cannot say that they've not been hearing me. They know how much I know the North. But I've not seen anybody say, okay, let's try to see how we can use your understanding of Northern politics to help the South.
Yeah,
nobody does that.
Southern region. Yeah.
That is because we have a way of just selling out. Maybe the reason why I was not able to collect the enticement, maybe because I actually grew up in the North. I don't really have any friends. I speak Hausa better than my own language. I speak Hausa better than English language. You understand me? Na fijing Hausa fiye da yarena.
Yes,
Hausa,
you grew up there.
You get
just like
you understand me? So when I see them, they are not as violent as you think. Now, a lot of Southern will be wondering, what's this man saying? They are not as violent as they appear to be. But they've seen that this violence somehow makes us become afraid of them. And once you're afraid of them, they get away with everything they want to do. That's why they are pumping this fire, this intimidation, this violence. The only language the Hausa man or the Fulani man understands is equal and opposite violence. Now, don't get me wrong, but if you are prepared to give equal and opposite violence, it's not the type that IPOB and their ragtag arrangement will go and set up Eastern Unity and then come and say they want to challenge this thing. Then Oduduwa will be doing their own. Then Urobo will be doing their own. So no. If you want to merge them with equal, because when they do their own, it's a collective thing. It's the whole North. Even the man that sells sugar cane on the street, he knows the whole plan. The one that IPOB is saying that no, there's 3 plans, and Nnamdi Kanu will release 2, but you hold 1. That's bullshit. I cannot be in a system whereby I don't have a total picture of what I'm getting myself into. And then you say it's only one man that has the other idea. Then I'll be following Guru. How am I sure he even has an idea? So the only intimidation the North will understand is what is please, it's very important that you listen to this part. The only type of intimidation that the North will understand is that form of intimidation that threatens this arrangement, that says that they can actually do nothing and still enjoy Nigeria and still lead the educated one. The only thing that we scare the North is any arrangement that will change that idea that somebody without a certificate can actually send a professor to the market to be sharing 10,000 naira. That is the only way. All these things that this one is saying that IPOB is the only force that is shaking Nigeria. I am here. In fact, the North is happy because IPOB is the only reason why is causing a lot of this. Is helping. How do I put it? IPOB and the activity now is what is destabilizing the North for the political gain of the South. That's just the truth. Because as long as there's this incoherence and in this disagreement and argument and fight, they not will keep enjoying the political gains of this arrangement we have. But any day, let's say the Igbo governors South governors and the
No,
Southwest governors say,
sir,
okay, let's come together.
I have one question
Okay.
about this IPOB. Who are the members? IPOB as a group consists of who? Who are the members? The governors, the eastern, the southeastern region, the governors, are they supporting this IPOB? Because those are the
Uh,
power of the southeast. So if the leaders are not supporting Unadi Kanu and his movement, so why should we be treating them this seriously? It's a question.
now,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, very good.
Mm.
I will take the part of I think I did a video on this very question. So I'll take the most relevant part of the question. Why are we taking them seriously? So I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why we should take Nnamdi
So,
Kanu and his IPOB.
no,
Hold
you
on.
said
Okay.
you discussed that before. So this
So
Unadi Kanu, let's
let's
discuss about the development of Nigeria.
Nigeria.
I don't bring
Okay.
Unadi Kanu
So
discussion to my show.
okay. So okay. So you see we're talking about the restructuring of Nigeria. So what I was talking about, I've talked about restructuring and why the North doesn't want restructuring, and I've talked about why we, the South, too, have enhanced the lack of we delayed the restructuring. Now the truth is that recently the northern youths, in case you don't know, the northern youths have said, okay, they want restructuring. And I don't know if you are aware.
That is what you told me one day, but we haven't seen them coming out publicly.
No,
So
no,
you
it's
said,
true.
yeah, you said
It's true.
they agreed. The
It's true. It's true.
majority
It's
of
true.
them agreed, or just few of them.
I just say it's a group. It's a
Okay.
northern youth group. It's not the Northern Council. It's not the Arewa Council. The
Okay.
umbrella body that decides for the entire North is the Arewa Consultative Forum. It's Arewa Consultative Forum. Now, if you see certain groups of the North beginning to accept restructuring, it's just, how do I put it? It's a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse. It's not what they take seriously, but because they know that even we that are constantly clamoring for restructuring are not even capable of sustaining the opportunity for restructuring when the time comes. I want to put my money on the line to say that if Nigeria eventually agrees for restructuring, that is when you see how very selfish and how very individualistic and how very greedy we as a people in the South are. That is when you will see that, okay, the robots will say, okay, this is the part we are the one creating, we should do this. That when we continue this fight, they now will now sit back and be laughing at us. Eventually, the whole process will be flaunted. Will eventually come back to status quo, where the North continues to dominate us. Everything you talk about Nigeria, every angle you come from, every perspective you come from, you find out that the problem of Nigeria is not the Northerners. The problem of Nigeria is not Islam. The problem of Nigeria is we, the Southerners.
Are you
Because the
serious?
last I checked, yes, the last I checked, the person with the wealth is one that determines what happens. I cannot
Okay.
have,
Understand.
I cannot have 100 million naira in my account, and I know your account you have less than 500,000, and then we are together. And then you are saying, let us do this, let us do this. You are the one telling us what we do, when I know that your money is not going to be involved. It's my money that they are going to use to do it. Naturally, I should be the one saying, okay, let us do the bridge this style, or let us build the estate like this, because I'm the one who is going to pay for it. Today, it is not the Southerners that are determining how the estate of Nigeria should be built. It is the Northerner. Abuja is the federal capital territory. When they, in 1980, I don't know how old you were then, in 1980, when they established the federal capital territory, it was called Central Capital Territory. Now, it was also called No Man's Land. And because these people have a way of masturbating our English language, our intellectual endowment, we just stuck onto the No Man's Land. But in truth, if you go to Abuja, all the places are named after northern nomenclature: Gwarimpa, Asokoro, Metama, and the choices of all places in Abuja is named after northern nomenclatures. Metama. Then when you see one small street, they'll call it William Street. When you see one small street, Enahoro Street, you see one this is now the street. Then the other places that have not been named yet, they name it Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Area 1, Area 2, Area 3.
But I
Because
heard
they
that.
deliberately.
The Northerners, the Hausa people, are claiming the original owner of Abuja. They have these kind of
No,
indigenous people who are claiming,
no,
yes, and they are
no, of
waiting
course,
for their
of
land.
course.
Yeah.
Of course, when they wanted to create Abuja,
Mm.
there were people who were natural inhabitants of that place.
Yeah, the
They are the
natives.
Gwaris. But the federal government now bought that place from federal government now bought that place from their hand and relocated them. So as at the time they were relocated, as at the time that the project to create a federal capital territory was created, it was in the mindset that it's a no man's land. So it's a place that belongs to everybody. 90% of Abuja is where it is today because of wealth from the south. And yet a southern man will come to Abuja looking like a stranger in a place his money was used to develop. Can you see how outrageous this picture looks? It's like a southern man will leave south, come to Abuja and be walking like a visitor, like a stranger in a place where his wealth was used to develop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
In the
the
whole of it, in the
because we
main
are running
capital.
because we are running a centralized government whereby everything is coming from the federal government. That is why lately the certain leaders were demanding for restructuring of Nigeria through the system of federalism that will relinquish power to the Southerners, to states in Nigeria to implement and manage their own resources. What do you think
What
about it?
was wrong?
Yeah.
What was wrong with that effort? I saw the picture now where
Mm.
the leader of the Ijaw Youth Council came and was shouting, say we're abusing the governors and all of that. The problem with these people is that you've been living with these northerners for a long time, but somehow you don't know them. You really don't know them. When I saw that 6 governors, Abi, what's this man name from Rivers State? Wike, and all the governors there, and you expect these northerners, that means you've not measured the ego of these northerners before. These are people I told you that anything that we put them in a situation whereby they have to question the system that makes it possible for a certificateless president to be messaging a professor to go and be sharing 10,000, they will avoid it by every means possible.
Exactly.
The only way the northerners would have honored that invitation was if they had seen that it's a collection of the southeast governors, south governors, and south west governors, and then call it a Southern Governors Alliance Forum, SGAF, Southern Governors Alliance Forum, and it's a combination of 20. How many? 5 plus 6 plus 6. That's 22. Abi, 22 governors. They want to see the North. The North would have honored it. Speed. They will be the first to go there and be waiting for you. But anytime they see a resolve that has this individualism, this individualization approach to it, they know that it is not strong. It's not strong. You must have a network of strength knitting themselves together before you have a very powerful force. A force is not arrived at as a single entity. It's minute unit of strength that knits themselves together. Then you have a force. Even in physics, you don't get a force because one thing just decided to become force. It's something that work together with another thing to create another thing. Then a reaction is created. Then you have a force. But what we are doing, we don't want to do anything with Igbos. Okay, we don't want to do anything with Yorubas. Yorubas don't want to do anything with Igbos. Igbos don't want to do anything with Yorubas. Southerners want to do it alone. They want to do it. This is what has been continuously perpetuating and propagating and giving the confidence to the North that so long as we have this mindset of not wanting to work together, you only make it possible for us to come in and take whatever you want. How does doesn't it shock you that a northerner can actually leave the North, come to South, work with someone that is in charge of NNDC and say, okay, see, look how we're going to share. He's telling you how we're going to share this money. If you ever thought this, if you ever thought the 13% derivation is the total money that comes to the South to share, your brain has been working backward. It eventually it is the Northerners that eat that 13%. At a point, they wanted to put a Northerner as chairman of NNDC, a Northerner to head Niger Delta Development Corporation.
We are getting closer to that. They can do it. They are ready to do it. Yeah.
They've actually done. They actually did it. They did it self until that body was like an acting chairman before Akpabio came. It was an Hausa man that headed up before Akpabio.
Oh my God.
Now let me ask you, what will make the governor of Jigawa State say that the oil in Bayelsa belongs to Jigawa people? It goes to show the depth of how much confidence that they have, that they can first come out and say anything they want to say, and how much they've been able to convince themselves and become confident that, look, the people of the South are idiots, are goats, animals, and which I agree totally. I agree, because it takes a unique kind of animal, a redundant animal position for someone to just walk into your place, your space, and take your wealth and go away with it, and even insult you upon it and say that what belongs to you belongs to him. It is another type of stupidity. Believe me, my sister, I won't lie to you. Sometimes I regret I grew up in the North. If I didn't grow up in the North, I would be in the South, languishing, blissfully rejoicing in ignorance. Because anytime I engage somebody in the South who have not been in the North in a political discussion, I want to weep, because the way they think, it makes it possible anytime for the North to keep, giving us the short end of the stick.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
So
the way
it's so sad that there's nothing more I can. I believe I've shown how deep I know the North. We have proven it. These people, they are not as intimidating as they think, as you think. They are not. They are not. The day these people, Niger Delta Avengers, came and were blowing up pipes, at first they did some gra, but when they saw that, man, if we don't do this thing, the country will be jeopardized, they came and begged. There is always something. They have a weak point. They have a weak point. It's not as if they are impregnable, or they are not touchable, or they are that strong as they claim to be. They are not. They thrive on lies. They thrive on deception. They thrive on conspiracy. They thrive on all these criminal aspects that perfects criminality. So all we claim, say that we had, man, now we had past. We not had nothing. We not had nothing at all. Our hardness now, how we go rob somebody's phone, take better ourselves. How we go take rob person's house, take better ourselves. And as Southerners, we are too quickly satisfied. We get satisfied too quickly.
So I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I saw one message here. The person says, watching the Hawks, please, this guy should say things with facts. So what facts do you need with what is just saying now? What facts? If you have been following the Nigerian politics, what facts do you want? So come.
What's the name of what's the name of that person?
One funny name here, watching the Hawks. Please, this guy should say things with facts. We are analyzing the political situation.
No. When you say things like that, you see that person now, because I mean, you see, you just read that statement, and your Western academic disposition just make you wonder and you laugh. What you see is a stupid man asking a stupid question, right?
Yeah.
Now, to me, who is living in the North is somebody who has understood that I know where everything is going, and is trying to neutralize the point that I made. What fact? Do I need fact that Buhari is nepotistic in his approach to governance?
Yes. Maybe you need a fact.
do you need facts? Do you need fact that the Justice Department is run by a completely Islamically oriented personality, and therefore turning to bend what is right to be wrong and what is good to be false? What fact do you need? Do you need a fact to show that the Nigerian military is currently inundated by the North and Islam?
No, yeah, maybe you
Do
need some
you
facts.
what facts do you need? You want me to go and meet Brutai and say, Brutai, is it true that the military is now Islamized? Then Brutai will say yes. Then I'll say, see facts. Is that the kind of facts you want?
There's one other thing I want to add to it, Mr. Magnus. So do you need facts to know that right now in Nigeria, the major political positions are all concentrated in the hands of the Northerners? Do you need a facts? If you have been following the Nigerian politics, do you need a facts to know right now that the Northerners are running the country? That the major positions are all given to the Northern leaders?
Apart from that, let me even add one dangerous one.
Okay.
The whole NMDC, DIC, Defense Incorporation of the Defense something Incorporation, is in the north. It's a company that builds weapons. It's located in the north. Nigerian Defense Academy is in Kaduna. DIC, Defense Incorporation, something corporation, is in Kaduna. Nigerian Defense Academy is in Kaduna. Nigerian Air Force Base is in Kaduna. School of Nigerian Military School is in Kaduna. Nigeria something officers, whatever. This is in. Look, virtually all the defense corporation, all defense arm of the country is in Kaduna. It's in the north. It's like we are living in a flat together. We are living in a flat, and we said we are together. But all the cutlass, all the guns, all the spears, all the arrows, they're in my room. Who is controlling everybody?
You, because you have the weapons.
So it's like I am consciously in an arrangement, whereas I'm being policed. That's why anytime there's an uproar in the south, they'll just bring the weapons from the north, enter there and call it Operation Python Dance and kill you. Anytime there's an operation in the south, they'll call it Operation Crocodile Tears and kill you, because they are the ones with the weapons. So we are in a system of government whereby we are forced to do what to do unconsciously, because those who hold the whip to conform to order, they are the Northerners. They have the weapons. Everything about what controls the North, what controls power is the North. Weapons, not. Politics, not. Power, not. Control, not. Everything, not. So the man that is asking of facts, what other facts do you need?
What I'm saying, the problems of Nigerians.
These things, I've said some things that emotions, I didn't put my emotions in check. Like the things I said about being bribed or not. There are not things I'm supposed to say on this thing, but I don't do that, because I always watch my this thing. But in this program, I've been careless. I've been very, very careless, to very candid, because some things I'm saying are very, 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 very. These are things I stopped saying like 3 years ago. I don't know what you did to me that is making me say this, but it's very dangerous. So, but the thing is that there are facts. For the South to be asking for restructuring clearly shows that we want the North. For the South to say they want restructuring clearly shows that we want to live together. We are not saying we want to go and leave the North. We are saying let us restructure so that everybody will live according to their strength, because obviously the North has dragged us back for too long. How can you have a northern man who heads the Nigerian raw material development and he's saying after 33 years, the best they could do is a science that produces kilishi? I know that if an Igbo man is heading that place, we probably would have produced a car or produced a jet or a machine or something tangible. We are not exporting anything. We have Nigeria Export Promotion Council. It's headed by the North. We don't export anything. All we do, we just carry raw material and we export. Do you know that the cell battery phone is 90% tantalite? At one point, they were in Jos, we were just mining tantalite. We were just rushing because we needed the quick money. We just gather tantalite, go and mine it and give. The Chinese will give you millions of naira and go. Today, they have enough tantalite that can produce phone batteries for many years to come. What stops the governor of a state say that stop, don't mind it? Okay, you use battery for your phone, right? Okay, let us produce the battery, and you buy the battery from us to put in your phones. Is that not a good idea? That way, instead of buying our raw materials for 2 million and use it to produce batteries that you eventually come and sell to Africa for 200 million naira, we are actually paying for the technology of the South after using our raw materials. We provide what the West will sell for us. I don't know if you understand. Let me say it again. It's like I give this thing now. I said, somebody just come into my this thing. I say, okay, take. He goes to the West, transform it to something I need, and he comes back and gives it to me, and then I buy it from him. Now, but because because there was no value attached to the money I'm paying them, it now becomes that I'm owing. Since the money I'm giving them, because there's always a way you pay to them. I don't know this because I read accounting in school, so I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
They cannot process it in Nigeria by themselves. Why sending it?
No, it's not as if they can't process it. The will to be inventive, the will to use your raw material to produce what the white man is going to produce and sell back to you is not there.
So
the uranium that they are using to do bomb and nuclear bomb, it's in Africa here that they bring it. They don't have a single drop of it in the West. But the black man only sees the white man coming to mine it and paying money, say, don't want to give money. Then he goes to marry many wives and build many houses. You understand me? In Plateau State here, there are rocks everywhere. In fact, rock, if you are buying land, the next thing you ask is there rock in the land? So because rock is a common thing and a fine rock. Now, what if our rail system is working? Rather than building railway from Abuja to Kaduna, why not build railway from Jos to the south, so that most of the granites that they will be used, they'll be quarried here in Jos, loaded in a trailer, and it's transported to the south. Therefore, the money of the south, they now pay for this gravel that comes from Plateau State, so that it becomes a source of revenue. So what is just lying there for years that is nothing is now something that can bring money from the south. A trailer load of gravel is about 80-something thousand to 90,000 naira in the south, whereas in the north here in Jos, it's about 14 to 20,000 naira. So the difference is almost 70,000 naira. Now, if you can produce rock here and send to the south, you see, the price cannot come down from 80,000 naira to 40,000. Whereas the volume of sales cannot increase because a newfound way of getting gravel to the south has been discovered. So monies that will be coming to the south, to the north, to Plateau State will be much. But the system is so messed up that the north does not even realize how wealthy they are. Do you know that the north, and here I'm talking to every northerner that is listening to this video, do you know that the north is wealthier than the south? But it's because our mind has been so filled that the fastest and quickest way to make money is oil. And it's true. Oil brings you sharp money.
Yeah.
But you see, agriculture is bigger, because you can farm in the same land for 100 years and still be reaping and cultivating. But oil, once you take oil, is a fixed deposit. If you take oil out from a place, the quantity of reserve available in that place is no longer there. Having that in mind, it means after some time, this oil reserve will be exhausted.
Yes, depletion.
But the agriculture will always be there. Now, there's what we call transferable asset. What I mean transferable asset is, for instance, now you are rearing cows. Then from the cows, you're able to produce hides and skin. From the hides and skin, you're able to produce shoes, leather work, belt work. That was why in the past, they set up the Leonards and Bata, a company that was supposed to be producing shoe to supply to the whole of Africa. But because the North are so used to laziness, they are not an inventive people. The feudal system of government, whereby those who make money anything you set up in the north here, the bourgeois will just eat it. They produce cotton. One of the finest cotton in Africa is produced in Nigeria. And that's why they set up the Kaduna textiles and a lot of mills in the north. But today we are not producing our fabrics. Rather, we choose to import this cotton outside the country for people to use it. Then eventually you see that our own Nigerian wax, they sell it 2,000 naira. Then they will buy Hollandis, which is the same cotton, the same ink. But some people decided to be more inventive and creative to make their own more qualitative than our own. It's the same cotton, it's the same ink, it's the same everything. But our own, after some time, something dies. It only remains for someone to sit down and say, okay, why is it that our own fabric doesn't last long? Why is that after some months, when it goes through washing, it begins to fade? So attempts to make the textile industries in the north survive has died. So maybe if the north suffers the consequences of their laziness, they'll begin to wake up. In those days, we have our 50 kobo, which the granite pyramid in Kano State was a symbol. It was a symbol of our agric prosperity. Today, not a single. That time you could see millions of bags of granite there. Today, not one single bag of granite is produced there because there's oil in the south. Why suffer and Tigran be storing millions of bags of granite when you can go to Abuja and do those in favor say aye, everybody will shout aye, and millions of naira comes to the north.
So yeah,
so you have to make the north realize how wealthy they are, so that they keep this long throat of the fact that we must eat from the south to survive stops. And then you have to make the south knows how strong they are because of the wealth they are, so that there's some sort of balance somewhere. And then ensure the south that if eventually Nigeria restructures, we're not saying we're going to abandon you. We're going to give money to the center so people can continue your stealing and eat.
So do you think that this system of federalism that the certain leaders were demanding for will help to restructure this country? We help, yeah, because right now the centralized system that we are operating is not working for the country. So this federalism that will relinquish power to states to manage their resources, implement some policies. You know, what do you think about this federalism?
It will be difficult for the North to agree. How do you change a system that benefits you? Yeah. If you have a system now that you'll be sleeping, the one Obosoge will just come and be doing TV and still be making 10 million naira per hour. Will you come here and be wasting your time? You just be sleeping now. So the system benefits them the way it is. The only way this system can be changed is a resoluteness.
If the power shifts to the certain region, if for instance we have a certain leader, president, and the power
oh my goodness, the power doesn't need to shift from the north.
Okay.
The power does not need to shift for the north for us to get restructuring. It doesn't. All we need is a resoluteness from those politicians, governors, the senators. If you meet the Igbo senator, he's saying we want restructuring. If you meet the Urobo senator, he says he wants restructuring. You meet the Yoruba senator, he says he wants restructuring. There's a unanimous decision, a resolute, unanimous decision from everybody in the South saying that this is what they want. It doesn't matter whether it is a northerner that is a president or there's a president. You see, they make us believe that it is only when we have presidency that we can have power. Goodluck Jonathan was there. Was able to change anything? Because you can't have a southern president without a resolve from the south and say you want to change Nigeria. It's not possible. It changes nothing. It's still the same status quo. That was why Goodluck Jonathan was easy to remove, because they sold narrative to us saying that Goodluck is a drunkard, Goodluck is weak, Goodluck is clueless. And we, the Southerners, bought it. And because we bought it, we helped in, removing Goodluck. And the annoying thing is that those who were so mouthy, like Professor Wole Soyinka, those who were so loud as to describing the cluelessness of Goodluck Jonathan, are now seeing what is worse than Goodluck Jonathan's cluelessness. A complete deterioration of governance, but they are now quiet because it's a northerner that is ruling. This is what is encouraging them, believing that you are scared of them. They know that if you talk, they will make noise and scare you. Hey, we know if you talk, blood will roll. If they touch this, they even said it now that any attempt to remove Buhari, blood will flow, and then we become scared. It's just now wash. It's just wash. There's nothing they can do. But don't start the fight if you are not resolute. If you have not planned it well. It's not this one of it's not this one that Igbos will go and do their own, Urobos will go and do their own, they will go and do their own. That is not the kind of fight that will scare them. It has to be a fight that cuts across borders. It has to be a fight that cuts across borders. Please, I hope we can finish the next 5 minutes or 10.
One question before we leave. Next time we're going to discuss about security in the northern region of Nigeria, because you live in the north. Okay.
It's a calculated, it's a deliberate. The security is if they want to stop that security tomorrow, if they want that security to stop tomorrow, they'll stop it. It's a
next time in next program, we're going to be discussing about insecurity in the northern region of Nigeria, how the insecurity is shifting towards the southern region. Okay, so when I say north southern region, I'm dividing the country into two parts, where I will categorize let's say Plateau State with the northern region. So why from Plateau State to the other side will be the southern region. Okay, so
that's how they see Nigeria. That's how they see Nigeria. The northerners.
Yes, that's how
they don't see this southwest, southeast. They don't see it. To them, as far as they are concerned, we are all southerners.
Yes,
now, it's we that divide ourselves here.
Yes, exactly. So before we leave this program today, I have one question. It's a little bit critical. A few months ago, I was watching a video of this woman, was the former finance minister Okoje Iweala. I was watching one of her videos when she was complaining that in Nigeria, there's nobody regulating this federal allocation to states. You know, governors in Nigeria have this opportunity to embezzle money because they are not being regulated with the federal allocation. Like what you said earlier, that the 30% derivation from crude oil in Nigeria that is given to the Sasat region, I think it goes towards the Sasat region that is not well regulated. So what do you think about this idea of the governors in Nigeria embezzling money because of a lack of regulation? So every month or every year, they send them these allocations, and the allocations are not being regulated. So your take on it?
The truth is that you cannot ask a criminal to regulate another criminal. It's something they all know. In fact, most of them are into this race for being the governor of a state for the mere purpose of this allocation, because this is one allocation that is at the exclusive command of the governor. The governor is in charge of this money. Nobody questions how he spends it. So it's like giving a salary to him. And these are billions or hundreds of millions of naira monthly. Now, the governor of Plateau State, Governor Jonah David Jang, retired. He was during the windfall of the crude oil sales of this Iraqi whatever. They shared his own money, and he used his money to develop the state. I can tell you what he was able to achieve with the money in 8 years: new bridges, new roads, new estates, government house, many things. Now it shows that these governors are really where our problems are. Because truly, the money they get is enough to solve the problem. Hello? No, I know your question.
Yeah, maybe we'll reserve this, because this is a big topic. Maybe we'll reserve it for another show. What do you think? This is a big topic.
Okay, write it down. And
so we have two topics to address in our next program: the insecurity prevailing in the northern region of Nigeria, and this issue of governors that they are not being regulated with the federal allocations. So
let me quickly make a disclaimer. Please. For those who are watching, we don't hate the North. When we talk about restructuring, we are not saying restructuring because we want to leave the North to go and suffer. We are only saying we need restructuring because the North has, for a long time, neglected its own comparative advantage. Comparative advantage is looking inward to see what you are good at and what you are best at, and use it to negotiate for what you don't have. I made an example of the rocks in Plateau State. Assuming we have a system that works, Plateau State would have been selling the rocks in, because if Plateau State starts selling rocks in Plateau State to the south, for the next 100 years, they'll be supplying rocks to the rest of the country. So we need to have a system whereby if it is agriculture that is your mainstay, you develop it. Israel today gets most of its income from agriculture. You begin to find ways to improve agriculture. Israel has developed a system whereby they can have rainfall even when it is not the season of rain. They have developed technology for that. So what I'm trying to say is not to say the North is bad, the Hausa man is bad, or the Fulani man is bad. We're just saying that the attitude and the resolve that they have to keep exploiting a flawed system to benefit laziness is what we don't like. Certainly, even in the books of Quran and Bible, nowhere does it say that laziness has been rewarded. We want a system whereby hard work pays and laziness, you suffer for it. But currently, right now, Nigeria is paying those who are lazy, is paying those who have no IQ, is paying those who are thieves, is paying those who are criminals, is paying the wrong people for the wrong reason. And those who are prepared to offer the best ideas to make this country grow are left in the doldrum of obscurity. They are left in the doldrum of obscurity. So with a fair and good structuring exercise, people will now begin to have the opportunity to express their God-given talent. In a Nigeria where we have innocent motors that produces an assembled motor in Nigeria, yet whenever the politicians want to get vehicle for their politicians, they prefer to import from China, Toyota. When you have cars locally, India produces car, they produces keke napep, but they don't import cars. They use what they have. But nepotism and this tribal hatred will not want the Hausa man to buy cars from the Igbo man, because by doing so, he's only augmenting the riches of the Igbo man. And then the Igbo man again will not stop bragging. This issue of bragging, we are this, we are that, is also annoying the Hausa man. They know you are successful and you are rich, but please don't sing it out loud. Allow your wealth to talk for itself. Allow your good deeds, allow your achievement talk for itself. Don't be the one singing, that flat and the one who have it. Do you know me? I'm Chief Maduka 1, the Akuruka 2. Akuruka 1, because everybody in one. They see 2, everybody in one. This is 1. So there are certain things that are inanities, trivialities that we can actually ignore. But somehow, because of our attitude, we make these things become so big that it becomes a problem in our country. So my disclaimer is that I don't hate Hausas, I don't hate Igbos, I don't hate Yorubas. I just want a country that works for everyone. That's all.
Yeah, thank you. So before we close this program, let's recap with the topic of this of today's program. What is the position of the Northerners in the quest for restructuring of Nigeria? But you said the youths are agitating for restructuring of Nigeria, but when it comes to decision making in Nigeria, the leaders, the northern leaders, are supposed to be demanding for restructuring of the country. Do you think that the youths are powerful enough?
No. The youths are just like, I told you it's a Trojan. It's a Trojan. By Trojan, I means they know that they don't want restructuring, and they also don't know that the Southerners are not capable of sustaining a restructuring exercise. If indeed that process comes, we'll end up fighting ourselves. I'm telling you the truth. Whereas they'll work and they'll eventually capitalize our disagreements and quarrels amongst ourselves to return Nigeria back to the status quo we were. They are the ones who remind us and say, well, we try restructuring, but you see, you are incapable of even coming to a decision of what you want this restructuring to be like. So that's just the game. It's not as if they really want the restructuring. It's a Trojan horse. Okay, since you be crying of restructuring, okay, we agree restructuring, let's go restructuring. It's not like say somebody say I go beat you, I go beat you, I go beat you. Every day I've been shouting, beat you. Then one day say, I don't care for it. Okay, oh yeah, let's do the fight. You find out that the guy eventually was just bragging. He really can't fight you. That's what the whole idea is about. It's not as if they are really serious for restructuring.
Okay. So which means this idea of restructuring of Nigeria cannot be actualized now if the northern leaders are not supporting it, the northern youth as well are not supporting.
I didn't say so. I didn't
I'm
say
just
so.
saying. I'm just saying. I'm saying.
The restructuring can be actualized, whether the North agrees or not, whether the North is in power or not. Restructuring can be actualized only if there is a resoluteness of resolve to come together by the South, Southeast, and Southwest, and even the Middle Belt we support. The people controlling us are very minute. They are less than 1% of the population of those causing this havoc.
The Fulanis, yeah.
Yes, less than 1%. But they've learned the art and method of capitalizing on our disagreements, which consequently leads to our division and making us not united. That is just it.
Yeah.
Now break that. Make them know that we are no longer disunited. We are capable of resolutely coming to an agreement to say, okay, this is what we want. And you've taken the power of. Can the Fulanis fight the rest of Nigeria? It's not possible.
No, yeah. No. If we are
even if they invite their Fulani brothers.
I think we have to just end this show like this. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thanks. Next time we're going to be discussing about governors in Nigeria, why they are not being regulated up to date, and the federal allocations that they are receiving in Nigeria is like a salary. Nobody is regulating whatever they are doing with the federal allocation. And the second one would be insecurity prevailing in the northern region of Nigeria, because you live in the north, you can explain to us what is going on. Okay, so that is the end of today's program. Thank you all for watching. If today is your first time of visiting our channel, please consider subscribing, while I will bring Mr. Magnus Oraka back to this program. Maybe in the next few days, 2-3 days, he will come back again. We'll continue with our discussion, restructuring of Nigeria.